Hello everyone. So Dishonored is one of my favorite game series and I might have played this game dozens of times due to the abundance of both small and large details, secrets and Easter eggs that are in the game. In this video I continue to share these secrets and details. This next mission is called Dishonored and in this mission we escape from Coleridge Prison. Now, at the beginning of the mission, the eve of our execution, a guard brings us a meal on a tray, saying that it's for my friend. After eating the bread, we find a message and a key underneath which unlocks the cell door. These are all common knowledge. But the guard who left the tray is named Thorpe, and while he helps us, it seems like he betrays the Empire. We don't see him again in this mission or in the main game actually, but in the second DLC where we play as Dowd, in the Brigmore Witches DLC, our paths cross again. So, now we are playing as Dowd and we came to Coleridge Prison to rescue Lizzie Stride. Let's listen to these two guards that are talking about the execution.
What's wrong with me? We're sending 3 men to the firing squad and no one knows what actually happened.
Didn't they do it?
Hemorrhage drinks and he chose a bad day to sleep in. Morris lost his nerve at the sewer gates. Neither of them knew anything. They died to satisfy the Lord Regent's office.
And Officer Thorpe.
Thorpe slipped him the key. Everyone knows that. He got weak. They paid him off, but he couldn't tell us who it was. And believe me, he wanted to by the end.
You've seen Corvo train, haven't you? Once he had the key, there was no stopping him. And the way he went off that bridge, how do you stop a man who'll make a jump like that? Like he doesn't care.
Or like he's more than human.
You think he's a...
I think we played that overseer noise for a reason. I think there's more happening here than any of us know.
So if we go to the yard, there are 3 guards that are being executed at the moment.
They notice this guy's won't help me. I'm caught on the street.
Failed to appear for service on the day of Corvo Atano's disappearance from custody. For gross dereliction of duty and the reasonable suspicion of treasonous conspiracy, I hereby sentence you to death. Ready, take aim. Private Morris, you refused to pursue Corvo into the sewer complex on the day of his escape. You displayed cowardice in the face of a national crisis, and I hereby sentence you to death. Ready, take aim. Fire! Watch Officer Thorpe. You provided Corvo Atano the means of his escape, and have confessed to receiving both money and plague serum in return. For high treason, I hereby sentence you to death.
So I just wanted to hear who they were and their reasoning for killing them. Now I will quick load and save these 3 guards.
Regent asked to convey to you his personal thanks.
So now let's save them.
They don't hit his disguise won't help me.
I'm just going to sleep dart them. So now they will all go and running, and I can speak to anyone except for Thorpe. There's no talking dialogue action button here. Did he fall? I can speak to him neither, and if I were to speak to watch officer,
Why did you save me?
I'm looking for Elizabeth Stride, prisoner, a gang leader out of Draper's Ward.
Stride. Heard she did some damage on the way in. They took her to A21, top level. You can check the logbook at the guard station between sections C and D.
he helps us about Lizzie Stride, and there's not much information or secrets from this guy, but it's a sweet reference from the DLC to the main game. Now back to the main game. When we first exit the cell, there are other prisoners in nearby cells. If we throw any prison guards' bodies, these prisoners will make some comments about the guards actually.
Good for you. I hated that.
Like that. I think they do that even if we kill them. That guy is throwing rocks at us.
Get a few more before they get you.
This is like a small little detail that I discovered. Anyway, let's continue. After obtaining the clockwork explosive, we reach like a courtyard area. There are two guards here, and there's a dialogue between two of them.
Backward, lazy slug. Did you patrol the yard?
Sorry, not yet. I was gonna report that boiler leak from yesterday.
Forget it. Just do your rounds. A report's trouble for both of us.
I'm moving.
So the higher ranked guard asks the lower ranked guard, named Hackbird, if he patrolled the yard yet. Hackbird says there's a leak in the boiler and he will patrol after he reports the boiler leak, but his superior tells him the report's a trouble for the both of us and insists that he follows his orders and patrols the yard. So he does that. So the boiler they were talking about is this machine, this device, and we actually see this in the second DLC of the game where we play as Dot in the Brickmore Witches DLC, where we come back to Coleridge Prison again. So we are in the Coleridge Prison as Dot, and we are going to the yard again, and we look at the right and there is no boiler here, so which is most likely gone for repairs. It's like a small reference to a small dialogue that was in the main game. Afterwards, we escape from prison to the sewer. There are guards that will be consumed by rats behind this door, but before that event there's a dialogue between them. So I killed many people up to this section, so this dialogue is the way it is because of that.
How many people did he kill on his way out of the prison? I guess if you'll kill the Empress, you don't care about a few guards.
Shut up. Look at this.
However, if he killed no one or like a few people, then this conversation changes.
He used some kind of explosive to blast his way out.
You think he had help? Who'd know how to do that?
Bottle Street gang, maybe. Watch for booby traps. Could be some down here by the look of it.
Good. If we're lucky, one of them will get Corvo.
You're afraid of him?
Similarly, there is an announcement which changes depending on the number of people you have killed, referred to as the chaos level in the game. If you kill many people, the chaos increases and the announcement is like this.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Several brave officers of the state are dead by his hand. He is to be captured or killed at any cost.
However, if the chaos level is low, then this announcement will say this.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Any evidence as to his whereabouts must be delivered to the City Watch at once.
So there's a couple who died because of the plague here. There's a note saying that they tried to buy the elixir with all their remaining money, but it wasn't enough, so they died embracing. So it's like a sad little point of interest, sad little detail. So there's a safe with a note that says, if you forget the code, look to your whiskey for the answer. Then we check the whiskey, and it says 451 here, and we can enter 451 in the safe, and safe unlocks. And, you know, this usual Dishonored stuff. But this 451 code is actually used in many different games, starting with a game made in 1994 called System Shock, and it is believed that they also got inspiration from a book called Fahrenheit 451. You can see this code used in many games like Bioshock, Deus Ex or Sanitarium, for example, and it's a cool little detail that they added it into Dishonored as well. So when we are in this section, I always run towards the light, but there's actually a hidden section around here, which is called the Hermits Corner, I think. You can enter this via these pipes here, or you can just hit the boards and you can enter through here. And there are some loots, some notes here, like some coins, and explaining what this corner is. And I missed this corner so many times in my playthroughs because, I mean, it has a good disguise, let's say. I discovered this area after a long time, just wanted to point that out. So at the end of the mission, we will talk to Samuel automatically. But if we tell him to wait for about a minute before leaving to the Hound Pit's pub, we can find some extra loot here.
Just down the river from here.
So let's say wait here, I need a moment first.
Look around if you need.
And jump in the river. There's a chest here. And inside that chest, there are like 80 coins. Finally, after arriving at Hound Pit's pub, if we enter the pub from the second floor of this back street, like this,
Oh my, you startled me. Ah, you could only be Corvo. I suppose you're practicing for your, well, your job. You're much younger than I expected. Do make yourself at home. Terrible you got blamed for the death of the Empress. Rest her spirit.
we can startle Lydia. And which we cannot do if we enter this Hound Pit's pub normally. So this is not a very long mission and the environment is not very large, but even in such a mission there are many small details that are scattered throughout this area. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video where we begin the Dishonored's main missions starting from High Overseer Campbell.